Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of That Crystal Virgo podcast. I'm also going to be posting this on my YouTube channel because this video is going to be really freaking cool. So I wanted to make sure I got it on camera for myself. Basically, I have all my notes on my phone, so I'm going to be referring back. So if you see me looking down, that's why. But today we're talking about, as you can tell from the title, how Spirit was telling me I was pregnant before I got that positive test and how I continue to speak with my spirit baby. This episode might make me a little bit emotional, just a heads up. But I'm just gonna dive right in because this is such a magical experience that I'm going through, and I just needed to get it out there and share it with you guys. So I'll start off by saying, if you haven't seen my previous YouTube video that I talk about my pregnancy, or if you don't follow me on social media, I am very early in my pregnancy. I'm about 7 weeks along. I really want to break the stigma of not telling people, because personally I believe in radical positivity when it comes to these types of things in my personal life. Not toxic positivity. It's not like I'm going to pretend everything's amazing all the time, but I think it's important to be positive about the big things happening in your life, to give that good vibration out into the world that you will always get back if you put out. So anyways, I'm not going to get into that. I talked about it in my last video. This is also my personal opinion to share when I feel like sharing. So anyways, so the very first thing that kind of gave me a little inkling that, hey, you know what, something might be going on here, is that I was having a dream. I can't exactly remember the full-blown dream, but there was a young girl in my dream, probably I would say around like 3, 4, maybe 5 years old. No, I would say 4 or 5 years old. And she was just sitting there, and I just, from the whole entire dream, all I remember is her saying to me, I'm your daughter, and I'm coming to you, like I'm on my way. And when I woke up, it's not like I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get pregnant. But I definitely had this feeling of like, I have a feeling something really big is about to happen in my life. I didn't know that that was exactly what was happening, but I definitely had a feeling that something was transpiring of a change in my life. Not necessarily a child, but a change nonetheless. This dream made me a little bit uneasy because I would say about 85-90% of my dreams I never remember. So for me to remember this dream so vividly, it made me feel a little bit uneasy. I won't lie about that. But it also felt really powerful, like something that I need to remember. And I told Johnny about this dream right away because I was like, what the hell? Like, are we having a baby? So I didn't really think about it too much after that day. It was one of those things that, like, you have a dream, you think about it, and you kind of debate over it for a while, and I just kind of surrendered it, like, something's gonna happen, I don't know what it is. Will it be baby? Will it be a change? Who knows? And I just kind of surrendered it to the divine at that point because I'm really practicing doing that right now. Now, I probably about like 4 days passed after that dream, and I was at work, and we have these like sprinklers at work over the produce, and as I'm grabbing, I think it was like, oops, I'm just gonna turn down my volume. As I'm reaching to grab, I believe it was green onions. I'm reaching to grab green onions, and I just had this channel information that said, you need to talk to a baby. You're like you need to channel this baby that came to you in your dream. You need to channel this child. And I hadn't thought about that dream in about 4 days. So for me to have this random thought, I was like, I think I'm pregnant. Like, I literally had that thought in my head, and it was a really powerful, strong thought. So as I'm grabbing the green onion, I said in my head, because I'm at work and I'm not going to talk out loud, I grabbed the green onion, and as I take it out, I'm like, if I'm pregnant, I want you to turn on the sprinklers of the produce. I grabbed the green onion, I put it in the bag, and I turned around to grab the next item. And as I put my hand into the produce, the sprinkler system goes on, and it soaks my entire, like from here to my hand just gets like sprinkled with mist, right? And immediately I started crying. It was a really powerful moment because in that moment I knew I was pregnant, and I knew that something amazing was about to happen in my life. And the freaking hormones. But basically, I had this like weird moment that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need a little bit more proof, because me being who I am, I like my signs and I like a lot of them before I know what is going on. But because I had this huge flush of emotion when the water hit my hand, I knew that I was onto something big. And I knew that spirit was trying to communicate with me. And I knew that this was the spirit of my unborn child. So as I'm walking around, this is all in the same night, I said to spirit, I want to see a number synchronicity, because that's how me and spirit talks. See, numbers are my jam. Numbers are my jiggity jam. So I was like, I need some numbers. Show me some numbers. And at the end of this order, this specific order that I was doing, I had to go to the scale and I was weighing everything out. And out of probably like the 10 produce items that I was weighing, I think, I wrote 4. So I had 4, and I wrote all these down as they were happening to me. I had 4 555s. And 555 for me and my angel number means that there's a really big change on the horizon, and to, release any kind of like need to control the situation, let it flow, because there is a really big change. 5 is my number for change. And this really hit home for me. I felt so empowered by these numbers. I told Johnny right away, and he was a little bit like, okay, you're pregnant, like, I don't think so. So, I just kind of like let it go after that, because again, I'm surrendering to the divine. I'm letting it flow. I'm not overthinking it. This was on the 18th of December. And so, we conceived based on my due date on the 16th of December. So this is only 2 days after the date of conceiving. So spirit was really telling me like, hey, this is happening in your body right now. And this is starting to transpire. This change is starting now. Then I came home, and the next few days I really spent using my cartomancy, my oracle cards, my tarot cards, and trying to tap into that energy. What is happening with me, higher self, my soul, spirit, baby soul, like what is happening right now? What are these messages I'm receiving, and what do they mean? And with my tarot deck, I usually do like 1 card pull a day from my The Wild Unknown Tarot, and then The Wild Unknown Spirit Animal every day. So with the tarot card, for about 3 days in a row, I was pulling the Empress card, which the Empress card is motherhood and, like matriarchy and nurturing. And to me, especially in the Wild Unknown Tarot, it has this amazing, beautiful, feminine, powerful energy, because it's like this beautiful tree radiating in pink. And it was still one of those things that I was like, man, I want to believe it, but it's scary, right? Because I've never had a kid before. So and with my spirit animal deck, I was pulling the deer card. Not every day, but I pulled the deer card once, and then the other cards of the spirit animal were about embracing change. I can't remember exactly which animals they were. I should have written it down, but I usually do these right after work, and I'm, just kind of sleepy just doing them. So, but when I pulled the deer card, is the card of motherhood. And when I pulled that with the Empress card, I was like, crap, there's really something happening here. So I go to the store and I bought a pregnancy test, which came back negative. And it really put me down in the dumps, because I was like, okay, but what the hell? Like, spirit was telling me that I was pregnant. It doesn't make sense. Like, I should be pregnant. Like, all the signs are here. And then I realized, maybe it's too early. So let me make sure I didn't forget anything. So fast forward probably I think it was December 22nd. I remember, because that day I actually engraved into my mind. On December 22nd, I was doing a meditation in bed before going to work. I lay down and I was trying to channel the goddess Diana. The goddess Diana is the goddess of fertility. The goddess represents motherhood, nurturing, and all of those amazing things that really have a lot to do with what I'm going through. So As I'm laying in bed, I close my eyes and I'm saying, okay, Goddess Diana, I want a sign. And this was something, to this day, I've never been able to recreate anything close to this. And it's probably the most amazing and the closest I've gone to a goddess or a spirit entity in general that I felt their presence this heavily. As I'm laying there meditating, I say, Goddess Diana, if I'm pregnant, I want you to poke me. And as soon as I said, I want you to poke me, I found my ego. And it was like, you know, my soul is here saying, this is what you need. And my ego creeps up and goes, hey, how the hell is a goddess going to touch you? She can't poke you. She's not there. And as soon as I heard that ego voice, I knew it was my ego voice. So I've been working really hard in differentiating the two. And as soon as that ego came up, I started chanting, I surrender to the divine. I surrender to the divine. And then I moved into Om Namo Narayani that I was taught to me by my amazing moonology teacher, Yasmin Boland. And I just kept chanting Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. My voice gets shaky just saying it because it's such a powerful chant for me personally. And as I'm chanting, I shit you not, my shoulder raises and lifts up off of the bed. I just wanted to make sure the video didn't stop. My shoulder literally, like as I'm laying there, I just feel this push and my shoulder just lifts up off the bed. And I started crying immediately. It was the closest I have ever felt to something so powerful. And now Goddess Diana is my go-to babe for anything to do now with this journey that I'm on. I'm always talking to her and asking her for guidance. But this moment was so powerful for me. I cannot put it into words how amazing it was to be touched by Goddess Diana. I was in awe at my life, at the amount of faith and resilience that I have as a soul in a human body. And I completely surrendered. And that's the only way that she came to me was through that chanting. And I know that for a fact because my ego was not allowing me to have that moment. And I was like, no, ego, you sit the fuck down because this is my moment. This is my soul's moment. And I don't need you here. Not for this, you know? There's nothing you're protecting me against. So now, after this moment that she touched me, every single shift that I would have at work, the sprinklers have gone off. Till this day, I'm at work, I'll be doing something, and I look over, the sprinklers turn on. And granted, there's probably like 7 different sprinklers that turn on at different times. They don't all go off together. And it's always the one that I'm standing beside. And I know that that is my way of speaking to my spirit baby now. That's my spirit baby coming to me and saying, hey, mama, I'm here. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful connection that I have now built with my baby. The baby has also come to Johnny. The baby has come to Johnny in one flickering light bulb. In the bathroom, we have one of those light bulb, like those like kind of like bars that has 6 light bulbs on it. And there's one specific light bulb that would just flicker whenever we are in the bathroom. It's happened when we're both in it together, but it happened the first time when he was in there alone. And as soon as he told me that happened, I was like, oh my God, that's the baby. At this point, I still hadn't gotten a positive test because I was waiting about a full week to take another test because it came back negative. But I was for sure I was pregnant. I told all my friends, like, guys, I'm pregnant. Like, just wait for it. It's fucking happening. So on December 30th, I believe it was December 30th, it was the full moon in Cancer. Of course, it's the full moon in Cancer. I took a test and it was a very faint positive, like so faint. Johnny almost didn't want to believe it yet because he was like, oh, I just like, it could be, but it couldn't be. And all the research I did online said if there's even a slight line, it means it's positive because it's detecting some sort of hormone in your body. So I waited another 5 days and bought the test that gives you the weeks, like the actual week of conception. And And then I peed on it, and there it was, 2 to 3 weeks pregnant. And it's just such an amazing thing to have in my life. And the day after I found out, I was working. It was actually, the night of the 30th into the 31st. So it was the same night that I found out that I had that 1 to 2, or sorry, it was a week after that. So, oh my God, sorry, my brain is super messed up with all the dates. So in the first week of January, when I took the test, it said 1 to 2 weeks. The next day at work, and I didn't ask for these signs, but because I work overnight, I saw 1:11 on the clock, 2:22 on the clock, 3:33 on the clock, 4:44, 5:55. And then I got home and I was listening to a podcast, and I looked down, and 1:11 was the time played on the podcast. And I have never felt such a more beautiful presence of my baby saying, just really letting me know, like, mommy, like, you figured it out, you know, like, mom, you like, we are finally on the same page. And for me to see all of those numbers consecutively all leading up to 555 being my number of change, just really solidified that I'm on the right path, and this baby is the baby that's been waiting my whole life to come into my life. Now, this is where communicating with my baby just takes a whole other fucking level, and it's through my dreams. I know that through pregnancy, and I see this everywhere, and everyone I talk to that's had babies talks about this, it's the intense pregnancy dreams, because we are just like, I don't know what it is, the hormones, and it's just making you have vivid dreams that feel so real. I have a hard time waking up out of them, because in my dream, I'm trying to wake up. Like in the dream, I'm like, I need to wake up, because I always am very aware in my dream that it is a dream. Now, I am somebody that before the pregnancy, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I clearly quit, but I was a daily weed smoker for my anxiety and my depression. And I completely stopped cold turkey, and that's something in my life I've never been able to do. It's been a really big struggle to even go like a few hours without it. And it was almost like I didn't need it anymore. And my dreams, I was thinking, oh, they're just vivid because of that. But these dreams were on another level intense. Like when I say another level intense, I mean I was reliving all of my past trauma in my dreams. I was reliving the physical violence, the abuse, and a bunch of other really negative things that I'd rather not talk about on camera. And these things were, my God, I would wake up with peace after those dreams. It was the weirdest thing, because in my dream, I would be having this awful experience, very aware it's a dream though during the dream. It's not like I was like stuck in this dream that I was like, oh my God, these things are happening to me. It was almost like I was observing the dreams happening to myself. And they would alter reality a little bit. It wasn't like word for, person to person, word for word, what it was happened in the past in my life. But these dreams were extremely real to me, and I could, every single morning, I could pinpoint to what point in my life those dreams were speaking to. And I would wake up with a sense of peace, almost like I was working through my trauma in my dreams. And there was one specific night that I was reliving, probably one of the worst nights of my life, which I talked about in my domestic violence podcast episode. That's not here on YouTube, but if you're listening to the podcast, it's the previous episode. And I was reliving that night in my dream, and I wake up and I'm like, almost felt not that I forgive the person for what happened to me, but I was forgiving that the situation happened to me. I was forgiving myself for holding on to that moment for so long. And I woke up feeling amazing, and I go on Instagram and I'm scrolling, and when you pass all the people that you follow and all their posts, you get to this point that it's telling you about the suggested posts. And I see this woman, and her username stuck out to me, and she was doing those pick-a-pile cards, and they were Spirit Baby Oracle cards. I had never heard of these before. They're made by an amazing woman. I will link her below if you guys are interested in that. I think her Instagram is called Spirit Baby Medium. but it was Blunt Mama that had made the post. And so I don't usually do the pick-up piles unless it's someone I know, and I know that might be like weird, but I like to know where the energy of the cards are coming from, the energy of the person shuffling, and all of that stuff. That's just my personal take on that. I like it to be someone that I connect with. But something made me really called to try this pick-up pile out. So I pick my card and I scroll to the photo of the stone I picked and the card that I picked. And the message of the card was, I am healing you. I'm healing your trauma. Can you feel it? And my body froze. And I got a message from her. Or I truly believe I'm having a girl, and I'll get into that after. So I'm going to refer to her, and if it's a boy, it's okay. I'm okay with whatever I get. And, spirit's energy are masculine and feminine, but right now I'm feeling a more feminine energy around this child and this baby. But I heard this message from her, and it was, Mom, it's me in your dreams. I'm helping you through your trauma because I need you to be healed for when I'm with you. And this just blew my mind away, because if you go back to my rainbow baby and my indigo, crystal, rainbow, and star seeds episode, I talk about rainbow babies and how they need to come into this world, into an environment of peace and not a lot of turmoil. And Johnny doesn't have too much of that kind of trauma that I do, where it's like a PTSD style trauma. And I'm clearly the one in the relationship that has those kinds of problems to work through. So this baby coming through and letting me know that she is helping me heal my wounds so I can be the mother that she needs to have when she's born is a really fucking amazing feeling to have, And I have never felt so close to her as I did in that moment. Needless to say, I contacted Spirit Baby Medium and I purchased the deck, and I'm patiently waiting for it to come in the mail now. But it was a really beautiful moment. And now every time I have a dream, I wake up and I say thank you. I'm not going to share her name yet because I want to, kind of share it with you when she's born. But I said, baby girl, thank you. Thank you for my healing. Thank you so much for my healing. I don't want to miss anything. All right. So, and then I guess the last thing that is kind of relevant to all of this is then the gender. Not that it really matters to me, because I'm happy with whatever I get, and I would be a little happy with a boy and I'd be happy with a girl. And, in today's world, I'm happy with anything that happens in the future based on that gender. But I kind of wanted to know, because I was feeling at first, in the first 2 weeks, I was pretty certain I was having a boy. And I think it's because I have this internal need for an older brother in my personal life. I have two little brothers in Brazil that are my dad's child with his new wife. And they're amazing and I love them. But growing up, before they were born, I always wanted an older brother. So I think it was almost my ego coming up and being like, you need that boy first for protection. But every time I communicated with this baby, I felt a feminine energy, a strong, strong feminine energy. And the dream I had was a young girl telling me she was on her way. So I was sitting with Johnny, and I said, babe, I'm going to ask for a sign if we're having a boy or a girl. And he said, okay. And at this point, I was actually editing the YouTube video that I posted yesterday. So this was super recent. This was probably like 3 days ago. I was editing thumbnails for the YouTube channel, and I was editing some video clips, and I was doing some stuff. And I go on Canva. And as I'm looking for a YouTube thumbnail on Canva, okay, the name we have picked for our daughter is very unique. I have never heard anybody else name their daughter this before. So it's not like a common name that you would just like see anywhere. And as I'm scrolling through Canva, there's the name. Not the name we picked. Oops, I have something in my eye. Oh, is this her? Who knows? Oh my goodness. Just got like a gust of wind in my eye. That was the weirdest thing ever. I wonder if she's talking to me right now. If you're watching the YouTube video, you probably saw I just kind of like blinked really hard. That was so weird. But as I'm scrolling, I just see her name in one of the thumbnails. And clearly that's the thumbnail I ended up using, because I was like, this was meant to be. And that really solidified for me that we have a little baby girl on the way. And we're like probably like 10 or 11 weeks away from finding out the gender. So I'm not gonna hold my breath and, you know, anything like that, because it's such a long time away and I have anxiety. So I'm not gonna focus on waiting for that result. But I truly, truly believe that that was a sign from her letting me know, like, Mom, it's me. Like, I'm on the way. You know it's me. But yeah, that is kind of in a nutshell my communications with spirit leading up to finding out I'm pregnant, to after knowing I'm pregnant. And you better believe I'm going to be posting a lot more videos of my spirituality and pregnancy, because these have been so freaking powerful for me. And I still am in awe every single day of little messages I get and the feelings I get. And I am just so grateful to have this connection with spirit, that I'm able to do this with my baby. I feel her everywhere, all the time. And I am always, always in awe at the spirit world and what it brings to us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I have made an Instagram page for my pregnancy journey. I actually I first made it when I first found out I was pregnant and kind of wanted it just for myself, but I have opened it up publicly now. So if you wanted to follow me on there and kind of check out my spirit journey, it's called My Divine Motherhood. And of course, my Instagram is thatcrystalvirgo if you'd like to follow that. And don't forget to subscribe to the new YouTube channel, The Gomme Life, where Johnny and I are going to be posting a lot about the pregnancy, shopping for the baby, renovating our basement, doing some fun stuff. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.